That song you love is on right now, not later, not on a playlist, not something you have to pay for. I mean live, right now. That's called radio. In Seattle, that's called Warm 106.9.
You can feel good, but when you're ready and it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel better, I'm not like hating myself and want to say it all the time, that's when I think now you're ready for the coaching, which is let me actually learn real tactics on how to get the kind of women and quality I want and the lifestyle that I truly want.
Welcome back to the Glen Gilbert Connection. Today we're going to talk about relationships and life performance coaches and what makes them good, what makes them bad, and how to vet them. So with me once again is Jared Laurence, described around the world as a dating mentor, lifestyle consultant, and motivational speaker. He is the author of Psychology of Modern Flirting and also, like your hat says, founder of Modern Success. There you go. Jared, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to see you again.
Great being back. I'm excited for round two.
Awesome. Excellent. So I just want to get your input on, say, how to help men who are seeking a relationship coach. How should a client prepare to take on a coach? Like, in other words, how does a man prepare for success with a coach? And maybe we can add some at the very end, like some exercises a man can try like today to evaluate whether or not they are even ready for like a relationship coach. Okay.
That's a good one. Like, how do you know when you're ready? That's an interesting one.
Yeah. So I want to give everyone a little bit of background, some information on your success as a relationship coach. So on your site, modernsuccess.com, you show numerous testimonials of guys, thousands of students, and hundreds of even successful marriages. So that's really nice to see. So how many coaches do you have in your program, and how do you vet them?
So you mean the students we have?
Well, don't you have, I thought it was like a bunch of coaches that work under you? Or?
Yes, I have coaches under me as well. Yes. Okay. So you mean them. We actually just brought on a new one, funny enough. I'm going to give a shout out to Felix. He's our new fitness nutrition coach. The way I vetted him was very simple. I joined his program, and I lost 9 pounds with him within the first month. Nice. Just going and following what he's saying and sticking with me, and I liked his style and everything. So I'm like, hey, we have this platform here. You should be, coach on Modern Success. And a lot of the coaches that I've hired were kind of in this way. One of them is my old wingman, so we kind of grew up learning this together. Another one of them, Cosmo, was the winner of the VH1 show, The Pickup Artist, back in the day. So
back in the day,
yeah, arguably one of the greatest seducers alive. And I met with him, went out with him, saw him in action, saw his philosophies on all these stuff. And then I'm a big proponent of something Mark Twain said, which is the best way to know if you can trust someone is by trusting them. So once I get a good feeling on them and I like what they're saying, I like their thoughts, I'll bring them in, and it's kind of like test before you buy, like let them go nuts, see what they do, see how they fit in with the culture, get report backs from my students, and are they liking them? Are their classes good? What's going on? Mm-hmm. And I've had coaches where like I brought them in within 2 weeks, I've let them go because I've just seen like, oh yeah, like I'm so if you're asking like how I hire and whatnot, it's very much.
What makes a good coach? I mean, it kind of goes into my next question, but it's like, what makes a good coach? What are you looking for? Like, what's a non-negotiable trait that you look for in a real coach? Like, so, because, these guys that are coming through, they're seeking you out for a reason, and it's either they're not really successful, or even they don't know how to have relationships, or they even don't know how to approach the dating world after being in a long-term relationship. Like some of these guys are probably really struggling. And you got to have, I would think, to be a good coach, there's got to be a certain level of empathy, ethics, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course. So when we get to like the deeper thing of like to really connect with a coach, a mentor, to really get everything out of him, you're never going to know that at face value from the beginning. That's something that only becomes apparent over time working with somebody. So there's no way to really see somebody's ethics. And if they're saying these are my ethics, that can be their unethical way of trying to get customers in by saying, I'm the ethical guy. There's no way to know until you go ahead and do it. I was going to say the best way to trust someone is, to learn if you can trust someone is by trusting them. And then if they earn that trust and it falls apart, now and you quickly cut ties. In the business world, they say quick to hire, quick to fire. You just got to find the right talent without guessing whatever. However, with that said, as a prospect or somebody looking for a coach, I've always had mentors since 2009 and all different things, whether it was business, dating, fitness, whatever the case might be. So there's a few things you look for. Number one is obviously their authority. Like, how big are they in the space? How well known are they? Are they a name? Have they made something for themselves? Are they a published author? Are they, like, have they made some kind of impact in their space?
Sure.
Number two is experience. That's no matter how good someone says they are or thinks they are. A guy who's been doing it for a year is not going to be the same as a guy who's been doing it for a decade. And that's not the same as a guy who's been doing it like maybe for like 2 decades, right?
Right.
Experience is experience. Number three is going to be obviously the results. Look at the testimonials. Keep in mind though, every coach does this, everybody from fitness to business to dating. You have to understand their testimonials, they are choosing their winners. They're not broadcasting their losers. And every coach is going to be doing that. So the real thing is so here's a pro tip is when you're watching these testimonials, if nobody does, but if you actually read them or watch them, go, how similar am I to this guy?
Right.
Is he like me? Does he talk like me? Because if you see a lot of testimonials with very similar type of people like yourself, now we're on to something. Now we're going the right direction. I would also say before hiring someone, do a deep dive on their free stuff. Actually look at what they're saying, what they're promoting, and go, is it working already for me? Because the truth is a lot of coaches out there, I'm going to spill the beans in the whole industry so everybody listening to this can like know the secrets. A lot of coaches will give their best stuff for free. A lot of guys will. Now, we don't think they will because free is free. It's cheap, right? Free means low value. But the kicker is a lot of coaches will literally be like, this is my best shit. Here you go for free, so that you realize they're legit and then they'll reel you in and bring you coming in. So it's not like just because it's free, like, oh, it's like a nothing. Check it out because it's like a something and it might have a lot of value. And then if it doesn't, that's a huge red flag. Like their free stuff should be working and doing well. And that should tell you like, okay, now I want to get with them with more accountability and everything else. Another key thing is you're only going to learn this when you actually get done the offer. A lot of coaches love when they do sales, they love this called the 3 pillars approach, where they tell you the offer, but they really, really only focus on selling you the benefit, and you don't really know what you're getting. And this is a kind of a really cheap sales tactic I've seen over and over and over again, is they'll bring in the program to be like, oh, it's like for dating, like we're going to do 3 pillars. We're going to build up your inner game and mentality. We're going to make you a master at building the attraction and a spark. And we're going to dial in your lifestyle and all of this imagery. And like, so you're going to be confident, you're going to get the attraction. But how are you going to do it? Oh, you're going to be part of a community. Don't worry about that. But we're going to take care of all these things so they all connect. And it's just like a lot of buzzwords, right? Let them.
Sounds really good.
Sounds really good.
Yes.
It's very benefit thing. I like to, so if I'm being sold on something, I like to be not a salesman worst nightmare, but I like to go away from the sales lingo and I'm like, talk features to me, baby.
Yes.
Tell me all the features, which are trained not to do.
Yes.
Right? So it's like, walk me through it. How many classes do I get? What's the availability like? What is it like? Read the fine print. Like, because that's where you're going to see how drastically different programs are. So for example, I paid 14 grand for this one mentor, like an Instagram mentor or whatever. And it sounded really good. But when I got into it, it was you get 2 group classes a week. There's one one-on-one deep dive on your thing throughout 4 months.
Right.
And watch my videos. And that was it. And I was like, and here's the problem. It was good material, but like the deliverables, the features were so bad. I'm not going to say his name or whatever, but like he knew his stuff. That's the sad thing. He could be great. He knew his stuff, but like didn't really have a much hands-on approach, didn't really listen to customer feedback, didn't really go the extra mile to address my concerns, no real customization, all that kind of stuff, right? Versus like, would you say Modern Success, we're doing like 2 to 4 classes a day based on different time zones, different topics. Right. We offer regular one-on-ones with a success coach. We have women that they can do drills with and practice with almost every day, not every day, but like 5 days a week. We have live in-person retreats. Accessibility, that's another one. The top guy, how accessible is he? A lot of these coaches will put buffers between them. So every guy in my program knows they can reach out to me directly if they ever have a question, a concern, anything they need. Yes, content material. They can go through all the courses, of course, anything they're looking for. We just added AI now So at any point, we have AI trained up on all my content. So you don't want to watch a lot of videos like me. I hate watching these long videos. You just ask the questions you want to the AI and it pulls it from those videos for you so you can learn what you want to learn. There's a lot of key deliverables, a lot of different other experts and myself, right? So when you're doing these programs, make sure he knows what he's talking about. You resonate with his messaging. You can see yourself using it. It makes sense for you. And the deliverables are what you actually need, not just benefits and promises. Oh, you're going to be so good, you're going to be so good. Show me what deliverables and make sure that's the resources I need in order to succeed.
Yeah, kind of doing a deep dive. I really like, I've even suggested that people check out the videos, check out if they've got free stuff available, and then ask some questions if you're still feeling comfortable going forward. But yeah, I think the free stuff is always, I mean, that kind of gets you into like, what are they really providing for you? But I also like, yeah, the whole asking a lot of questions while you're, even before you're getting too far into it. So how do you ensure?
Here's a great question I hate. It's kind of like an interview thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about a couple of cases where guys didn't succeed in your program and what happened there.
That's my question. I was going to say that's a question I have later on. That's about, have you turned down clients?
I mean, we have two criterias that I've trained my closers, my team, myself to do. When we don't want to work with a guy, it's disqualified financially or disqualified as bad fit. If it's disqualified financially, what that means is we've gone over their finances with them. They're usually pretty open with us, and it doesn't make sense. And we'll be the first ones to be like, listen, don't sell your car just to join this program. Like, don't put yourself in a bad situation. So if they're like struggling with it and they're like, usually you can sense they're like trying to haggle or barter. They're like, well, what if I just did, X amount? Could I do something for that? And it's like, what's going on here? And then we find out like this guy's living paycheck to paycheck. There's no way you can afford a high ticket, service like ours because we're not cheap. I'm gonna be like, there's a lot of cheap options on there. We're not the cheapest option by far. So when we see that, it's like, okay, we're not gonna do wrong by them and put them into debt and do all this kind of crazy stuff.
It's right there. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's but I mean, like anyone should do that anyways, because they're going to be your worst client because they're going to be sweating the money the whole time. They're the highest chance for refunds and chargebacks. So you're going to lose the money anyways. They're going to waste, like it's good for them. It's good for us. It's honestly good for both parties. What I've recently done actually since last month, this is very new. We now have a low ticket community. It's $37 a day. They still get weekly. Honestly, my $37 a day community is about equal to what I've seen a lot of their programs do. They get 2 classes a week with me, one with me, one with Anna. They get 2 classes a week, and they get a list of my content on approaching, all this stuff, and they get a community. They get a fine women in their area. It's $37 a month. Like, so now we have something for them. Like, I'd be like, do that, and then when your finances get better, cool. The other category with disqualification is disqualified bad fit. This means they are either very, very indoctrinated in red pill philosophy, meaning they are convinced the only thing that matters is looks and money. That's the only thing that matters. If they don't want to believe anything else matters, then what are we doing? We can't help you.
Right.
Number 2 for a bad fit would be someone who's already making a million excuses of, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't think this will work for me. I'm just going to do it because nothing else has worked, but I don't want to take action. I don't want to do anything. Obviously, huge red flag. And number 3, someone who generally hates women. So if they're talking down, so we listen to their wording, but like, yeah, man, I'm just not getting any bitches. It's been a while since I've been bitches. It's like, probably don't want to work with you. Like right there, coach, here's a free coaching tip. Don't call them bitches. Like that's an easy, So
that's hilarious.
So when we see these three pillars of a bad fit being they're too indoctrinated and stuff, and they're in the red pill cult. B, they are already making excuses right around a call. They're not going to implement what we're teaching, or they're just toxic in general. Like they have a bad attitude towards women. They want to use women. They're looking for manipulation stuff. We know this is a bad fit. We shouldn't be working together.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody who's like, I'm having a lot of trouble dating. These bitches just don't want to go out with me. Yeah, really?
You'd be surprised.
Oh man, unbelievable. So how do you ensure your coaches are avoiding projecting their own biases on clients?
Okay, so we might disagree on this one. I like that. I want because here's the
Oh,
because let me
yeah.
explain though. Let me give me context here.
Yes.
I think every coach gives their biases on clients. Every coach. I don't think it's possible to really mentor someone and not have your opinions. It always leaks out in some way. We'll try. Like, I mean, the main thing is the culture I'm on success. We are respectful to all religions. We're respectful to all politics. We're going to be like whatever you believe and care, like we're going to be respectful to it. We don't do negative self-talk. I don't like censorship, but I will if it gets really negative or like there's no flame wars. There's no attacking in my community. It's every now and then I would say maybe 2 or 3 times a year I gotta like come in and censor stuff or gotta be like, hey, easy on this, like this is not what we're here for.
Right.
But for the most part, it's self-sustained. It's really cool. Like it's a brotherhood, everybody's supportive and whatever. But with that said, like any coach you're working with, long enough is going to have their biases on what they believe works. They believe outside of their realm. Even me, like I help my guys with business or mindset or stuff that has nothing to do with women a lot of times. This is going to be you can argue these are my biases and what on my view, what I believe and what's gotten me successful. So my way of dealing with that is I think every student is naturally going to vibe with certain coaches over others, even though we're saying the same shit. And I've seen this phenomenon over and over again. This is exactly why I've done what I've done with Mind Success. And here's a phenomenon. I'm teaching A, and this other coach is teaching topic A, and we're saying the same thing, but we're using different analogies. We're using different humor. We're telling different stories to define this topic A, okay? And when I teach it, the student's like, I have no idea, or I'm not getting it, or whatever. And then he teaches it, and it's like, oh, that clicked. Now I get it.
Right.
And I go, God, and then obviously vice versa, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I go, got it. So even though the message is the same, the medium truly does matter. Some people, they learn better reading books. Others, listening to podcasts.
Yes.
Others, they learn just by going out and doing it, like just hands-on help. So my take on it is I have a lot of different coaches, a lot of different backgrounds. We have coaches like me who are very nerdy. We've got coaches who are fighters. I've got coaches who make movies and, semi-famous actors. I got coaches married for 20 years. We got a shaman, hypnotist, Navy SEAL, like his stories are crazy, ridiculous. He's a Navy SEAL shaman, public speaker, like incredible stuff, right? Everybody's got their and you'll see some students are like, this guy, I'm a super fan. Not really a fan of this guy too much, but I love this guy, and then vice versa.
Right.
So, but the kicker is we're all teaching the same thing, basically. There's some slight differences and variation. Everybody has their own flavor, but what works. It's all pretty much the same stuff. So I find that bias thing to be a really cool phenomenon, and I want to leverage it and use it by getting different people of different backgrounds. We have white, brown, black coaches. We've got different age from over 40s. We got coaches in their late 20s. I mean, everyone's going to connect a little bit differently with someone. And I think that diversity really helps in getting the message across.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. You're making me think about, I'm actually listening to a couple of books and I wanted to get her take on it. Esther Perel. And she's talking about relationships and divorces and cheating, and a lot of the information she says is similar to what a lot of like male self-help, male coaches, all this kind of stuff. It's very, very similar. She just has a lot more words.
Okay.
So it's really kind of
which actually dilutes the message. I found brevity actually makes things more powerful, but I guess if it's a book, you got to quote it to fill.
Yeah, exactly. So according to the coaching industry, as of 2026, there are roughly 28,000 life relationship businesses. And then as of 2025, the International Coaching Federation says that there's roughly 34,000 certified U.S. coaching practitioners, as well as per the Integrative Psych Institute, about 81,000 psychologists and a little less than 200,000 licensed therapists. So kind of going back to like all of these choices, what should somebody avoid if you've got all of this vast choices to select, from therapists to coaches?
I'm going to give you a controversial answer, and it's probably not going to, whatever. Like, as a licensed therapist myself, doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
I did it. I got it. I don't, I mean, every now and then, Like I was trying to talk somebody off of being suicidal and, like extreme stuff. And that unfortunately has come up a few times. But with those extreme exceptions, I mean, most of my coaching is based on my real world experience, what I've seen, different, self-help books and things that I've read, teachings that I've got from my mentors who don't have any kind of psychology background and whatnot. It's great. I love that it gives me authority, but like, hey, this guy's a trained therapist, and I love it for those reasons. It's like, how much am I actually using it? If anything, it might hurt me because sometimes I'll use like clinically correct terms in the psychology terms. And I think I'm just losing people. I'm being like too nerdy. And it's like, it just means this. And they're like, oh, got it. I'm like, I got to like dumb this down because this is not helping.
You see the glazed, glassy eye coming over and you're like,
no one wants to talk about ABA intermittent reinforcement and how that affects compliance. Like,
I don't know why not. That's crazy.
I'm for it. I mean, it definitely works, but
right.
So I really think it comes down to more like the business. Like, for example, like we're trying to license coaches. That to me, that's like trying to license entrepreneurs. Like you need your license to be an entrepreneur. It's like the results speak for themselves. That guy's rich, right? Like Elon Musk doesn't need a license to be an entrepreneur. If anything, he gives the licensing. So when you see that like coach, what would you call it? The coach authority or?
So there's the International Coaching Federation that has a stats.
So let's start with them. Whoever the president of the International Coaching Federation is, who gave him his license?
Right.
Like the licensing thing is to me is a power play to say, hey, we are going to license coaches, meaning we are the authority.
Right.
And as long as you accept that authority, then everyone else is secondary because they need a license from us.
So you don't think it shows more credibility if someone went out and got a coaching certificate?
Depends from who. So let's say, I mean, here, how about this? I will now give out for $10,000. I will now give out coaching certificates. This is what they do. This is the whole bit. I will gladly give out coaching certificates, Modern Success certified for 10 grand. All their certificates, it costs money to get. They're not giving out. They're not giving it based on merit. They're not like actually looking you by partial. They're saying pay for our course, buy our shit, pay for this light, and then we will certify you. Same thing with Tony Robbins. Same thing with all these different certifications. The only one not like that, but kind of like that, is being a licensed therapist or psychologist. But even then, guess what? You have to pay a lot for grad school. You have to pay a lot to still get that education. And then they give you a diploma. And so it's the same thing. I would much rather someone just be really good and have the proof of it. And you know what else is really good from a coaching? Having a money back guarantee. Like, I'll take someone who's like, listen, this works or you don't pay. Like money back guarantee, which we do as well in Mon Success. Either this works or you don't pay. Now, there might be conditions. For example, our conditions is stupidly simple and easy. You have to use our program at least 4 hours a week. That's it. 4 hours a week. Okay. That's really our condition. Other coaches might make their own other conditions, but like that is much more credible than I got certified by the International Federal Coaching Committee. So I know how to coach. And like, I don't even know if they're good. So now I got to go vet them who gave you your certificate because who says they're the A standard? Like maybe they are again, but I don't know. The whole thing though is who certified them? They're not a government agency. Who certified them to give out these certificates? They did it themselves. I can literally give out dating coach certificates. And honestly, that might be my next business model.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Yeah. So it kind of goes back to the whole vetting process of just, do these guys have real world experience? Do the coaches have real world experience? How long have they been doing it? And then you have that whole, can you have associate with anything else from the client's perspective? Like, this coach has a similar history to mine. I understand what they've gone through because I've done it as well, that kind of thing. Kind of going back to the client. So if a guy feels broken or ashamed after a breakup, what's the first thing a good coach is going to help him say reclaim? Like, what does that matter? How or why rather does that matter more than dating tactics?
I mean, you need to have a strong sense of self to go back in the dating market again. Like, I mean, this is a touchy one because I would love to give here's my blanket answer to everything.
Well, you mean the dating world is really rough out there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh my
God. The dating world
Stop. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because the dating world is literally like politics world. Every election, this is the most important election of our lifetime. It's never had bigger stakes than now. Same thing with dating. It's never been harder in dating than it is now. Ever since we started, it's the same thing. It's like it's always this awful, awful situation and thing. And like I'm trying here. I'm trying to bring it together. But like everybody's different. Like I've helped guys who genuinely they had to wait 6 months after breakup before they can really get started again. And you could see like again they wouldn't take action. I think that's what it comes down to. If you're so much a wreck that even if you have the best coaching, best information, you had the best resources, best community, you just are in a bad place that prevents you from even taking action. You don't even get out of bed. Then of course you're not ready, right? But I've had guys too where they're like 3 weeks after a divorce, like married 17 years, 3 weeks after, like, I want to get better. I don't know what I'm doing. And they were clearly very ready. So there's no like universal answer to that. I think it goes back down to the disqualification marks. And one of the pillars I said for why we disqualify is, will they actually take action and use it? If you're in a mental place where it's like, I'm in pain and I want to really do something about it, absolutely coach will work for you. If you're in a lot of pain and you're in so much pain, you can't even contemplate talking to other girls, getting out of the house, doing stuff because it sucks so much. In those cases, I think maybe a therapist might make more sense, or talking even with AI, funny enough. I think AI is phenomenal now for those deep reflection thoughts. But that's, I think, the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Your ability to actually implement, because if you can't implement, no coaching is going to be useful by it doesn't matter what you hear.
Yeah, that was kind of leading to my next question. It's like for those guys, feeling completely lost, like where should they start?
They should start in trying to find themselves again. So a lot of couples, what happens is they stop being a single person and everything's not I, it's we. And everything's they forgot what they like. They remember what we like, right? So once you're single again, I think it's really important to go on a exploration as soon as possible of doing things you want to do. Right. So for a lot of guys, this could actually be very freeing. She never let me really do much of this. Go ham, go do whatever that is. She never really liked sushi and that's my favorite food. So I only ate it. Go on a sushi binge. Like enjoy, start realizing what you like again as a single and do everything you can not to socially ostracize yourself. Yeah. So a lot of guys, they want to be left alone. They're sad. They want to be like whatever. That's going to go into a downward cycle of depression, because depression lives on three things: hopelessness, helplessness. I guess my therapy background is coming up. Helplessness, hopelessness, and isolation. So we never want to be isolated. So I think it's more important ever, and once you break up with someone, to reach out to all your old friends, do everything you can to go back to the old friends and go out and make as many new friends as possible. So you're staying active, you're trying to do things outside of the house, you're finding the stuff that you like to do again as a solo person. And then the traditional stuff. Really go ham at work, focus your career, go ham at the gym, get the new single bod. Everybody after breakup instantly loses a few pounds and gets nice and fit. Do the stuff that starts making you feel attractive and wanted and raising your self-worth. But with that's all said and done, all of that is still feeling, not actual result producing. You can feel good, but when you're ready and it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel better, I'm not like hating myself and want to stay in all the time, that's when I think now you're ready for the coaching, which is let me actually learn real tactics on how to get the kind of women and quality I want and the lifestyle that I truly want.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's really, really important that you're, to your point of start to do things for yourself and do the things that you really like, and even get out there and if I'm hearing this correctly, you don't want to jump into another relationship right away. It's more of do your thing, work on yourself. What I found that was incredibly helpful is I traveled, just start traveling. Just go somewhere where you've never been and you want to go. I went to Costa Rica for a week or so, and it was just absolutely, went by myself. It was absolutely amazing. Met a whole bunch of really cool people. Ironically enough, I met people that actually live 20 miles away from me, and I'm like, oh, I had to go to Costa Rica to meet you. Oh, that's how that works. Cool. Yeah. But Yeah, love everything you're saying. It's like work on yourself, guys. Work on taking care of yourself and start doing the things that you really wanted to do that you know you're going to enjoy, but you never really had the chance. I think that's brilliant.
Right.
So, what do you think most people misunderstand about relationship growth?
They misunderstand about relationship growth.
I'm
I
thinking like it'll
think
be like a one step, oh, I can just do this and I'll see this coach for a week and I'm good to go.
I mean, I would, if that's mentality, I would ask, tell me a parallel. Tell me how that's true with anything else worth having in life.
Yeah.
You go to a gym for 1 week and you're good.
Like doing one
You,
push-up. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm going to go to this course on making money, or I'm going to go to college for 1 week to
Mhm.
learn how to be anything. And we're going to say, like, even college is 4 years and whatever, of
Mhm.
whatever degree, whatever you want to do. So it's just a silly assumption. Like, tell me in anywhere else in life that ever makes sense, right? So that would be my instinct challenge or pushback on that. I would just say we have to get rid of this as like, here's some quick tips and start attacking this from the lens of this is a skill like anything else worth having in life. Just like getting the body you want, your health is a skill. Learning what are good foods and what are bad foods, learning what exercises to do, how to do the exercise correctly in a way that is good form and not going to hurt you. If you're building a business or career, learning the talents and skills of that, the marketing, the sales, the fulfillment, the operations, the systems to put in, how to be a good leader and manager in entrepreneurship. If you're a career or doctor, learning the medicine, learning your trade, all of these are skills.
Mhm.
So why is it getting good with women would be any different? It's not. But that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it
It's
takes
gonna,
time and dedication.
yeah, my understanding, it's just like a muscle you got to develop, just like anything else.
Yeah.
You got to go out, put some time into it, put some effort, some dedication into it. You can't, I think Jerry Seinfeld said it like one time, just writing jokes for like once a week or something like that is the equivalent of doing like one push-up in the gym. You're not going to get much out of it. You know?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is one of those discoveries because when men are getting the kind of women they want, I would say almost more than anything else, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflect because for a girl to want to be with you, especially a girl with a lot of options and a very attractive woman who has a lot of different options, you got to realize if she's choosing you, she's choosing no to all those other options, which means you are telegraphing something literally very, very attractive, and that is a reflection of you. If you want to get a 10, you got to be a 10. So, and it's more than just money and looks, which everybody focuses on. It's not money, it's not looks, it's the skills. So, what are the skills? The skills are knowing how to have interesting conversation, intriguing conversation, knowing how to tell good, interesting stories, knowing how humor works and how to make her laugh, knowing how to be the life of the party, understanding how to read people very well, body language, tonality, how to give the right body language and tonality when you're interacting with someone, how to lead them emotionally through any decision-making process or emotionally through any kind of relationship, knowing how to create and spark attraction, knowing how to further that attraction by building a deep connection, knowing how to actually build proper sexual tension that gets her aroused versus feels creepy or weird or forced, knowing when to push forward, knowing when to pull back, like all of this is a dance. And people can say, but oh, just be yourself. That's a gross generalization. If that worked, you wouldn't need any help. Just be yourself. Cool. But
Right. Just be yourself as long as she's attracted to you.
exactly. Yeah. If it's working, then
Yeah.
yes, be yourself works if what you're doing is working. If what you're doing is not working, then being yourself is the worst possible advice I could ever think of.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does take time. I mean, to get to that level that you're talking about, it takes a lot of time and effort and some self-review, just to look at, what are my flaws? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? How can I do better? What did I not do right? You guys do like was it like an in-field review and don't you look at what they've done in the field and hey man, maybe you shouldn't have done this, but you did that really well, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we don't do just videos and theory and philosophy. I put my money where my mouth is. It's seeing is believing. We do live in-person retreats. It's included in our program. Next one's actually coming up in a month in Las Vegas.
Oh,
So we got
nice.
that coming up where the students can all fly in. They can see me and the other coaches. They can see us in action. They can see us approaching women, see the kind of reactions we get. That's more proof than anything else I could think of, like seeing is believing. But on top of that, we are watching them, we're pushing them, we're obviously coaching them and teaching them and having fun with them and bonding, but like we're gonna watch them and we can't help it. We're gonna tell them, hey, try it this way, try it a little bit like this. Notice what you did wrong there, and then you see in real time, oh wow, that actually had an effect, and it's like magic. It's like really, I think that's when everything I'm saying now actually clicks, and I go, oh, I do have control. This is a skill. I can choose to do it correctly. And I see it working. That's insane. And I'm like, I've been saying this from the beginning. I've been telling you this. That's why you signed up. Yeah. But now I know it's true. Like you
It's like a
see it for the
mindset.
first time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a mindset and you're having to flip it around. Yeah.
But it's like, I'm telling you it's a skill. I'm telling you my story. You know this is why you're here. This is like everything logically makes sense, but they don't truly believe it, like faith, like really feel it until they've seen, like, I approached this girl, I did it my way, didn't work. I approached the next girl, I did it Jared's way, it absolutely worked. And I can do that again. I can replicate that. Oh my God, this is a thing I can learn and do and get better at. And then they just blow up. And that was my love for it.
Right.
My love for it is I came into this when I was 20 years old. The password to my computer was life sucks. I was clinically depressed. I was on Zoloft. I was on antidepressants. I was going to therapy. I hated my life. I got into it. I got into it because I didn't want to die a virgin. I wanted to, I just wanted women to like me. I didn't want to get laid. I wasn't particularly trying to get laid to be a fuckboy. I wasn't trying to get a relationship. I just wanted to be liked. That was, I'm trying to think, it was like a superpower. I'm like, I've never had this.
Right.
Fast forward 3 years, 3 years later, and I'm waking up one day and I'm like, oh my God, I like really like love and respect myself. And I never had that before. And I love this guy. Like, don't chase after women and learn these skills for the women. And that's a big mistake people tend to get. Do it for you. Do it because to see the man you have to become to be deserving of those women. When you're actually getting the high quality women, when you're actually attracting women left and right, you have an amazing social circle, men are looking up to you, like for you to get to that level, you have to go through a self journey and you have to level up. And that is better than any of the external, the threesomes, the relationships, the marriage, like better than any of that is realizing what you are capable of. Yes. There's the equivalent I've seen in the entrepreneur circles is become a millionaire, not for the $1 million, but to see who you become in order to achieve that million. That's the real reason why to find it. The dating side is crazy similar journey as entrepreneurship. It's very, very, very similar. It's your baby. It's you. You are the problem solver. It is up and down. It is extreme highs, extreme low. I mean, it is insanely parallel. Right. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to be honest, even though entrepreneurship is my love now and this is my jam and it's, whatever, nothing is more transformative and rewarding than the dating stuff. I honestly think that was a bigger transformation and more emotionally rewarding than making $1 million. It just was.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I kind of going back to what you said, watching these guys kind of flip the switch, if you will, like realizing, oh, I can do this. I have other potential that I didn't even know about. One really sobering and sad stat that really got me going into this podcasting and everything like that is, what is it? Men are 4 times likely to self-delete over women. And then that jumps up to like 8 to 9 times higher after a divorce. And I'm like, there's so much potential out there that is being missed. And, people like yourself and other really good coaches are there to help these guys level, not just get back to baseline, but level up even further. And that's what I like to see.
There's 2 reasons I think for the, as you put it, self-deletion, why that's used more for men than women. Yeah. Number 1 is if a man's going to decide to do it, he's going to do it in the most effective way possible.
Yeah, they're not going to mess around.
Yeah, they're not going to mess around. If they're like, I'm going to do it, they're going to do it very logical. They're going to do it very there's no way to mess it, or very small chance of messing it up. Mm-hmm. When women do it, they want to do it in more theatrical ways, and then it can be more for attention sometimes. It could be more to get that help. And that leads into the second one, which is women are 1,000 times more likely to ask for help in these kind of things than men, because it's not expected with men. For men, it's on you. You got to be the man. You got to man up, right? You gotta be the leader. You can't be asking for help. You can't be suck it up, buttercup, right? You gotta be tough. You gotta be masculine. You can't. So when you're constantly bombarded with this, I think two things happen. Neither are beneficial. Number one, you take that fully in and then you implode or explode or whatever, and that's when you will self-delete, and that's when they're not getting that mental help that they deserve and that they should have. Or the opposite is true, and you rebel against the whole system of that, and then you become this like soy boy snowflake whatever guy, and then at that point you're just like, I'm more feminine than anything, and you go the completely other direction, which is almost, I wouldn't say as bad, it's probably a little bit better because at least they're asking for help and whatever, but like you're almost like putting mental health crisis on you as an identity badge of honor. It's like a weird thing. It's like, I've got all these issues and I'm proud of it. It's like no, we should, it's okay to have them, but we should be trying to go away from it. Like the whole, like, I'm fat, I'm proud, I'm a big obese. It's like, and you're going to die in 2 years from obesity. Like what, this is not a proud source, but it is a good that you're asking for help, but then it becomes the other direction.
Embracing victimhood. Yeah, embracing victimhood is never a good thing. And I think you're just dragging yourself down and you're preventing yourself from leveling up. And I think you're not going to win any fans doing that. It's just no good. And I'm not speaking because I don't do that. I'm very guilty of like, oh, woe is me. Don't you feel sorry for me? And I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? This is terrible. I'm getting nowhere. And when I started working on that, that's when things started to turn around. And I recognize it. I'm like, stop giving excuses and start doing something. Start taking action. You know, that's like the big difference.
It's on you. No one's going to care more than you. Not about your business, not about your life. It's on you at the end of the day. And it's very scary and it can be terrifying to really come to terms with that the cavalry isn't coming. It's on you.
Yes.
Like you have to make this work. With that said, just because that is true doesn't mean you shouldn't ask for help. You shouldn't use every resource to your advantage. That doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. Just because it's on you doesn't mean you have to be alone. I am not Modern Success. I'm Jared Laurence. I have a team of like 30 or 40 people making Modern Success successful. It's not me. It's everybody. It's a unified team thing. I couldn't do it by myself.
Right.
So some people feel hopeless, and this is one of the ingredients of depression, when it's like, it's on me and I'm not good enough and I'm helpless and I'm hopeless, and they're very dependent. If you go one phase further than that, they go, you know what? It's on me. I'm going to do it. Screw everyone else. I'm going to figure this out. And they become very independent. One phase beyond that, though, is it's on me, but I'm going to use as many people as possible to help me with this. And I'm going to build a team. I'm going to build a community. I'm going to have resources. I'm going to find myself a mentor. It's on me. I'm independent, but I need as much advice and help and resources as possible. That's where we get to interdependent. And I think that is the highest level of when you're really trying to achieve something and be successful. You cannot do it alone, and you can't just sit under a rock or, cry and hope that things magically change. It's on you, but you can ask for help. You can leverage every resource. You can try to figure this out with a team versus doing it all alone. Yeah,
I think that's really important. My observation is women suffer in public, men suffer in silence. And it's that whole, no one's going to save you. No one's going to help you. You're just going to have to deal with it. But to your point, it's like there is help. You don't have to do it alone. And it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah. It's really great because anything you've gone through, I promise there are other people who've gone through almost the exact same thing or very similar.
Yes.
And they've come out the other side. I've never seen anything where, hell, there's a book where a guy went through the Holocaust and he wrote about how the one thing it didn't take from him was his positivity. I forget the name of the book.
Yes, I don't remember either, but I know what you're talking about. Yes.
So it's like, you got nothing on that. Like he lost his whole family, hell on earth, identity stripped away, everything he had taken from him. Still lived a great life, became an author, became successful. I was like, you got nothing. Like if he can do it, you can do it.
Yes, 100%. So finally, like, what is one exercise? Like, what can a guy try today to evaluate whether he's ready or not for coaching? Like, what is something that they could look away or take away from this going, if I do this, I'll know I'm ready or not?
the action that so I have a giant sign right here. It's literally takes up 20% of the wall, 15% of the wall here. And it only says the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So in my case, a great action step a guy can do to tell me tell themselves, are they ready? Go approach women. Get out of the house and go approach. Okay. And then one of two things are going to happen. Either A, you can't do it. It's too scary. You do it. You're immediately getting rejected. It's awful. You need a coach. It's time to get help. Like you try. Or B, you're doing it and it's kind of working. Like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? And it's like, okay, cool. Until eventually you hit a wall and you go, man, I'm good up till here and I can't figure this out. Congratulations, you need a coach.
Right.
The whole point of a coach is to get you beyond where you are currently. But I think for a lot of guys, they don't even know where they are because of their ego. So for example, like there's some guys, I mean, you can get a gym membership, you can look up exercise online, you can ask ChatGPT for a meal plan, all this kind of stuff, right? And I think guys should do that first. Just do the bare minimum first and see what you can do on your own. And then once you've been doing it a little bit on your own, you can make the judgment call for when you feel stuck.
Right.
If you don't feel stuck, you don't feel stuck. Good, keep going. But at some point, you're either escaping pain or you're chasing growth. Either way, this is where a coach can come in and really help you. Because if you can't escape the pain, then you need someone to get you out of that. If you're not in pain, which is fine. I had a coach last month join a program. He's a relationship coach himself. I have guys who join my program who are incredibly good with women, but they're not escaping pain. They're chasing growth. So if you are like, hey, I'm good, I'm really good, but I can't figure out this next level. I don't know what it is. Time to get I mean, hell, they're like, my mentor, one of my business mentors, he makes like $4.4 or $4.6 million a month.
Wow.
A month. He has a business coach. He's paid Alex Mosey. He's paid all these other guys. Like he has his own coach. Like so, like it never really ends. As there's certain, I would say, like 80 to 90% of people get into coaching to escape pain, and then it takes a few, like sick in the head few that really like top 10%, 15% of guys who are like, I'm not in pain, but I'm chase growth. I want to see the best version of me possible. I'm not going to settle for mediocrity. I'm not going to settle for good. I want great. They're like Olympic athletes. Olympic athletes find coaches. But like you won the gold medal. You are the best. There's no one who can coach you. You're the best. I still got to find someone. I need different takes. I need different styles. Someone to keep me more accountable, to push me more. There's a reason for that. Right. So if you are in pain or chasing growth in a particular area, you should have a mentor. Like I said, I have not been without some coach or mentor. And hell, like last year I had a chess coach, but I have not been without some kind of mentor coach since 2009. I think Amazing. It's the three, my formula for success, which I talk about in my book, Psychology of Modern Flirting. My formula for success is just 3 ingredients. And I don't ever want to be a hypocrite. So I live by this. The 3 ingredients are practice to the point of obsession. Obsession is a good word. It's not a bad word. Everybody thinks obsessed is a bad word. If you still think obsessed is a bad word, read the book, Be Obsessed or Be Average. And that's when it clicked for me. I'm like, got it. I don't want to be average. I'm going to be obsessed. Number 2, experiment like a mad scientist. Stop feeling and like thinking and I'm so intuitive. Be a mad scientist. Back to the drawing board. Track your metrics, track your numbers, get nerdy, and really understand what's going on here and know what to experiment and tweak. And number 3 is have a mentor or at the very least, someone better than you around you that you can model after.
Right.
If you have these 3 things going, so if you have all 3 things, it's impossible to fail. If you have 2 things, you can have any 2 of these things, you can still get good, but it's going to take a really, really long time. And if you have only one of the 3 things, you're never getting good. And same thing with 0.
Right. Yeah. I really like the idea of documenting your failures and successes and then going back. And that's, I don't know if this is part of your program, but to document that, go back to your coach, go, hey, this is what worked, what different, this is what didn't work. What should I do for this situation? Texting, all that kind of different stuff. I went out
we call them after action reports.
There you go.
They write them all down, everything they've done. Sometimes they mic themselves up. We can listen to it. We can read it. We can go through with them. But like, yes, we now, how often do our students actually do it? That's another question. But yes, we have that as a resource. We encourage them to do it. It is absolutely important facet, I think, if you're really serious about getting. I have one student who he actually surpassed me on it. He didn't just stop at the after action report. He made this like graph thing of my method called the attraction ladder, and he would track all of his sets, all of his approaches, and he would point where in the attraction ladder it ended. So you can literally see a real bar graph, and the way it looked, it was like sloping down and then sudden drop like this. And it's like, well, now we know where your sticking point is, this drop. Right there, that's what we have to focus on, the skill. And then we gradually, then it got raised up and slope, and then sudden drop. And like, that's the problem. I'm like, that's genius. But like, that's what I mean by being a mad scientist.
He put a numerical system to it so he could create a,
correct.
He's got to copyright that and make a book or something, because that sounds brilliant. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And he graduated. He now has a girlfriend. He's a shout out to Larry. I mean, he was a, astrophysicist, nerdy Asian guy from Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
Asian guy in Kansas who makes aerodynamic space shuttles or whatever the case, like
right.
Tiny, he's like 5'5", skinny as a twig, like all this stuff. And he did it. He got good. At one point, I mean, now last I heard from him, this was a couple of years ago, maybe he was one of my first, but unless I heard from him, he's in a relationship and he's happy and whatnot. But at one point, before he moved in Florida, when he was in Kansas, at the same time he was dating ethically. He wasn't in a boyfriend girlfriend with any one of them, but he was dating at the same time a stripper and the mayor's girlfriend. The mayor's daughter. Something with the mayor, like the mayor's daughter. It couldn't have been white, right? So like it was like two like extreme like crazy party stripper girl and like a political figure, the mayor, and like he was dating both of them. And I'm like, it's just absurd how wide range this kind of stuff works for him.
Well, what people are going to say is like, oh, well, he has some money, so he could probably spend money and attract these ladies, right?
I don't think the money, I mean, I don't know how much people think physicists and designers, I mean, he was probably making 100K a year. 100. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah. It's not great. It's not like he's not rich or anything. It's,
right.
And also, I want to understand that logic. Like, all right, I have, let's say, 10 million in the bank. I'm walking up to a girl and just throwing cash on her. Like what does that look like? Like, here's the money. And here's a great quote I want too. So number one, it doesn't really work. Number two, when it does work, it obviously doesn't work for the purposes you're looking for.
Right.
Like you can buy an escort at that point. So you're trying to buy a normal girl. You are now conditioning her and training her to be an escort. And I heard this in another podcast. And I love this point, except he made it the reverse and he didn't do he didn't make it from both sides. This is one of those like women hating podcasts, whatever. But I was like, he actually makes a point, but I can make the counterpoint. And what he said, he was telling some like OnlyFans girl or stripper. And he said, listen, if pussy is all you have to offer, then pussy is all I want from you, respectfully. If that's all you have to offer, then that's all I want.
Right.
And I agree. I'm like, he's not wrong. Right. But the opposite is also true. If money, as a girl, if money is all you have to offer, then money is all I want.
Exactly. So what you're saying is, don't lead with money. You don't have to be over 6 feet. You don't have to have a 6-pack. You don't have to be like making $500,000 a year to actually do well with women. Is that what's going on?
Correct. So here's my official take on this, because I know this can be controversial. Does being over 6 foot and having abs and a beautiful beard and having a money and a great lifestyle, does all of that help attraction and make it better? Yes. So officially, yes, these things do help, just like a push-up bra or a boob job or a cute outfit on a girl, like that's going to help. Okay.
Right.
So yes, it helps, ... but not as much as you think it does.
Right.
I think that is my official answer. That's what I say to everybody on the looks and money. Yes, it's helpful, not nearly as much as you think it does. I will take learning game over any of it. Being really good at game trumps money, trumps looks, trumps all of it. It's like the difference of Like, does injecting yourself with testosterone boost muscle and help burn fat? Does these peptides and testosterone, like, absolutely, no one's disputing that. But is that going to be the same as locking in on your diet and going to the gym?
Right.
No, it's not going to replace. Like, that's the level of disparity.
Right.
Truly, that's how my mind looks at it. The gym and diet is like learning game, and peptides and TRT is like looks and money.
Right.
It's about that effective when it comes to this.
Gotcha. It's helpful, but it's not the be all end all. Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And if it is the end all be all, then that's not the girl you want by definition. Because if you're like, this is all I have to offer is a lot of money, don't be surprised when your whole world revolves around gold diggers and women who just want you for your money. That's the only thing they respect because you've trained them to see you that way.
Right. Yeah. And the 6 foot where I saw this where guys are cutting their legs to extend them. Whoa. Don't have to go to extremes to.
I even tested this. Like I have, I do it because it's fun and I like it. And every little bit helps. But like, there's these shoes that will give you 2 to 5 inches of height, and I have them. I have all the way from the 2-inch ones. I think I have a 3-inch, a 4-inch, and I just got a 5-inch to test it out. And Anna hates the 5-inch ones, by the way. She's just like, never wear those around me. They look like clown shoes, right? But I once tried all of them. And again, with my level of game, going out, talking to women with these different shoes, what I have encountered is 2 things. And one of them kind of shocked me. One of them was interesting. The first thing I found is exactly what I knew I'd find, which is it kind of helps a little. Being tall helps a little bit, but not as much as these guys think it does. Right. Like I'm 5'10". When I'm 6'1" with my shoes on, like I'm not going to say it doesn't help at all, but it's not like night and day. It's not like, oh my God, now I can do no wrong. I'm king of the world or whatever. Like absolutely the height doesn't matter that much. It's like nice. It's like maybe it's a little easier, but it's still, if I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say. I'm going to lose this girl.
Right.
Here's what I did find very interesting. And I was like, oh, now I kind of get a little bit is my inner game had a natural spike. It was me, nothing to do tactically. I'm like, oh, I like this. I'm tall. Wow. Like I can reach things up here. I'm walking in the crowd. I'm looking above other guys' heads now. Yep. I'm like, and I was like, oh, I feel full. And I think that matters more than anything else. Now you can still have that being 5'4", 5'6". Like, it doesn't like that is a feeling. That is just in here.
Right.
It naturally gave it to me. It was like a boot. Just like drinks will give a guy confident. You know, doesn't mean being drunk makes you better with women. It just makes you feel good, right? So that was an unexpected benefit. I realized how different it must be just on a feeling base. If you're a short king, you're 5'6", and you're walking around and you're like, man, everybody's bigger than me. Why would they want to? It's going to have a self loop. Tactically, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Like, granted, if a girl's towering over you, yes. I mean, a 5'6" guy is going to have a really hard time with a 5'10" girl than with a 5'5" girl, right? Like, so it does matter, I guess, on the girl you're talking to. But that was an unexpected, interesting boost because I'm already like confident going out, feeling good, having fun. But it's just like, here's another level to it. I'm just like, now this is fun too, and I'm tall. And so I get it on the emotional level, but tactically, it's small.
Yeah. Well, guys here from the dating apps and all that, you've got to be over 6 feet to get any kind of hits, and you got to be in shape.
That's logic.
Yeah.
You know how many girls as 5'10" think I'm 6 foot? When I'm going out, they think I'm 6 foot. I'm 5'10", just because they feel like I'm 6 foot. That's all logic. Like some girl put it out there, 6 foot, and every girl's like, yeah, 6 foot, and put on their bios. So ironically, where it matters the most is online dating, because they will filter by that. They won't even give you. So online dating, height hurts hard.
Yes.
Social circle cold approach, whatever. Like it doesn't really matter much.
Hence more of a reason to be not really using the apps and going out and meeting in real life, doing things in a community or setting, or just going out to start meeting people at wherever. Like I, hear about like charity events or, wherever, to just start meeting other people.
Just do what you like to, they're everywhere. If you want the like hottest, the creme de la creme, You go to the hottest clubs, you go to the hottest charity events, you go to the best fitness events, you go where the hottest girls like to go, if that's all you're aiming for. So it's really, really hot, right? But assuming you want something a little more depth than just the hottest, which again, you need a good marriage of the two. But what do you generally like to do that's not a solopreneur activity? So you're like, I love to read and journal and meditate and whatever. Then join a book club. Go do a yoga meditation practice around people. Do stuff that involves other people. But I'm an introvert. Doesn't really matter. First of all, anyone out there listening to this who calls themselves an introvert, stop, because you're just messing with your own head. You're an ambivert and act that way. It's a spectrum. Some people are more extroverted. Some people are more introverted. It's a spectrum.
Right. Nice. So finally, where can people find you?
I mean, you can go to themodernsuccess.com. You can check out my YouTube channel, Modern Success. Probably the best way, I would think, where I'm putting most of my attention on Instagram. I think I like Instagram because you can have conversations, it can flow. You can see I give out a lot of my freebies all the time on there. Like we talked about how important that is. Yes. So if I had to pick one place, I would just say go on Instagram at the Jared. So TheJared Laurence, Laurence. You can see it right here in the map. I like it so much. I hear it right there in my name, the Jared Laurence.
Yep.
I would just go on Instagram and do a couple of things. Number one, I would message me the word free. So you can see some of my free content, and you go to my website at freegiftfromjared.com. So we would just send you that link. You can check it out on your own. And also what I would say is you can also message me the word ready and book a call with someone from my team. This is not a sales call. You're not going to be asked for any money. You can keep your wallet in your pants, like nothing like that. But the reason I suggest that is because I don't believe in one size fits all. And the way my conversion process, sales process works, I'm not running a charity. Obviously, it's, there's a point, but I say people should take advantage of what they can. So when they comment the word ready, they get a call from my team. It's like 10, 15 minutes. He's going to ask them a bunch of questions to really get to know, like, what are they struggling with? What works? What doesn't? And then they're going to suggest some of my best videos. They're going to literally go, okay, this guy needs X. And they're going to send him those videos. And potentially, if they think it makes sense, set him up with a one-on-one with one of the coaches. And at that point, when he's consumed some of my best content for free, and he's had a one-on-one with a coach, then at that point, he can decide, do I want mentorship? Do I want a program? But at the very least, get all the free stuff possible, learn your options. It costs nothing, and you're going to see your opportunities. I think 100%. I think people are very avoidant of that because they're worried about being hard sold on the phone. You have my word and my guarantee. When you click right and you do the phone call to the guy, he's not pitching you anything. He's not asking for any money. He will literally just send you whatever he thinks is the best for you.
Nice. No, that's a great approach. And this has been a great discussion, Jared. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's always good. You always ask very interesting, not always typical questions. I like it. It's extra fun.
Nice. I appreciate it. So everybody, remember, when you're not starting over, you're starting wiser, and the right coach can help you rise from the version of yourself heartbreak that tried to bury. Thanks for listening to the Glen Gilbert Connection. I'll see you in the next episode. And again, Jared, thanks again so much. I really appreciate it.
Until next time.
All right.